Roll the tape.
You're on the internet. Fuck.
Wait.
No.
I'm not ready.
No, God, please.
But what
Turn it off,
is
turn
the
it off.
internet?
Sorry, hang on. Can we take 5? I actually gotta go take a hot
Smith,
number 3.
I am going.
This is heinous.
I'm going to yeet. I hate this. I hate this bit. Okay. No announcements, except if you're not following at BoltRPG on Twitter, please follow them. Give a J. All the things. All the things. And yeah, that's it. Let's play a game. John.
All right, everyone.
To the Wild West music.
To the Wild West. Not the American Wild West that you know, the oft romanticized or even fetishized torrid past of our nation, but a different Wild West. A Wild West of monsters and mysteries, of demons and angels, of violence and retribution. This is a place where anything can happen, but most of the time, nothing happens. There's vast open landscapes, huge monumental mountain ranges. You have open sky, a freedom, a horse to bring you from town to town, and you all find yourselves in Oklahoma City, a large, relatively large city compared to many of the metropolises out east. A place full of cowboys and bounty hunters, mercenaries, merchants. The dusty road puts like dirt in your mouth as you walk around. You can feel the grit on your teeth. People's spurs clanking as they walk past. You hear a fight break out in the distance as you walk up to a beautiful and upscale saloon in the center of the city. The three of you look at each other and you step in to this building. Dark wood coats the floor. It's beautiful, stained, almost black finish.
Hides the blood.
There's a bar which is full of empty glasses as the bartender, this large, muscular femme person with tall hair, is slinging drinks back and forth. You can hear a player piano tinkling in the corner.
Is it jaunty?
It is measured and refined, as a couple of people who are a couple drinks in are singing along to themselves as they play cards. You're here to meet a contact. You're here to take a job. And as you scan the room, catching the beautiful people dancing with each other and dancing on tables, some here for enjoyment, some here for their job, you catch the glance of someone who seems to, who everyone in the building seems to orbit around. This person has a gravity about them. They are leaning back in a corner booth, their feet up on a table. You can see glistening golden spurs spinning lazily under a golden lamp. They have a black cowboy hat tipped over their eyes, hiding their face. And as you all walk in and see this person, they raise their hat and you catch their eyes, light purple in color and a prodigious handlebar mustache on his top lip. He motions to the three of you, and a couple people in the room, they turn their heads as you walk by, and you make yourselves known in this tavern. What do the patrons of the tavern see as Vincent, you enter their space?
God, first of all, John, fuck, dude. It was so good. It was so fucking choice. Oh my god.
You painted that word picture and it is
beautiful. So they see a tall, kind kind of broad-shouldered, middle-aged man, dark hair, not like middle-aged, like, let's see, late 30s, early 40s.
Middle. It's the Wild West. You're like old age, baby.
Fucking ancient.
You die of dysentery.
Dark hair that is clean cut with like these streaks of gray down the sides. He has a weathered look, pale eyes, and he wears a dark clothing, a long dark leather duster, tall boots, and at the base of his throat there is a flash of dusty white as he wears a preacher's collar underneath a black dress shirt.
Nice.
The only other noticeable thing about him is the obvious adventure ship that is portrayed by a thick leather belt that carries a pistol at one hip and a whip on the other.
This whip is distinctive. As people kind of catch your eyes, you see them. They make eye contact with you briefly, and then their eyes drift down to your collar, and then they drift down to the whip. What do they see on your hip that's catching their attention here?
This whip is it is a little longer than the average. This is not a metaphor.
Now it
I'll
is.
say.
And it is, the leather that it is made out of is so dark it's almost black, and there appears to be these like lines of red and gold. It's either embroidery or something else like it that just makes its way and spins up the entirety of it. The handle of the whip has like very complicated markings on it. They look it looks like runes or like a language, but it is illegible or unreadable by anyone who looks at it. And you can't see this, but on the very end of the handle there is a seal that is pressed into the leather.
Yes. Yeah, as the whip catches the light of the lanterns in this room, they seem to almost shimmer with this iridescence. But those who look carefully will notice that the iridescence is not a reflection, but is coming from within these inscriptions, this embroidery on the whip. Zafira, as you follow Vincent Sharp into this saloon, you see a kind of scruffy, scrawny looking cattle rustler sitting with his friends at a table, guffawing at some joke, and you see his eyes catch the whip, and you see him reach out, trying to seem sneaky, hand outstretched to the whip.
Without even thinking about it, pull his arm back and slam it down on the table. And I look him I was gonna say, and I look him in the eye and I say, "You do not touch what is not yours."
Zafira, you grab this ne'er-do-well's wrist and slam it, twists at a weird angle, and he goes, "Ah!" and looks up at you. What does he see as he is surprised by your assault here?
Yeah, so he sees, Zafira would describe herself as nothing to look at, but she is about 5'6". She's got one long braid down the back of her hair because she's learned after a while that bounties get a little scrappy and sometimes they go for your hair, dog. So she keeps it in a braid, so there's less, like, you know, when you pull in a braid, it doesn't hurt as much. She is dressed like a cowboy, like, well, I guess a cowgirl in this instance. She's a rancher. Like, she's wearing a plaid shirt. She got a vest over it. Her Wrangler pants are tucked neatly into cowboy boots that have some really old spurs on them. On special occasions, and this is one because she's meeting a new employer, she is wearing her bolo tie. She's got she's got green eyes. And around her waist, you see I don't know what it's called proper, but it's one of those belts that hold bullets on it for like your 45.
A bandolier.
And then, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Wow, I googled so many things and not even that. She's got that around her waist, and then an old, I think it's a Colt 45 on her hip. It looks like it's seen better days, but it is lovingly tended to. If you look closely, there are some hand-etched runes along the metal that might be invisible to someone farther away, but if you look closely, they're there. And occasionally she wears a cowboy hat, but usually she doesn't, because she feels like it calls attention to herself, and in her line of work, she's trying to fly under the radar. And you also catch her see the golden spurs on that gentleman and just kind of narrow her eyes.
The man whose wrist you have recoils, and his friends at the table grab him by the shoulders and kind of pull him back, and they start laughing at him. You stare at the back of his head for a second, then continue on your way. Taking up the rear, we see Scully Southers. Scully, what's Scully doing right now?
Scully is...
Wait, is it Scully or
It is Sully, yeah.
Oh.
You almost put me
Oh,
up
I'm
on
so sorry. I'm
my own guy's name.
It
It's
was
Sully.
like, oh,
all right,
God.
all right.
The
That's a
overlay's
dollar
wrong,
in the
fuck.
DM crimes jar.
I did write Sully or Scully on every single thing, and then I saw you write Sully, and I was like, oh snap. I thought I got it wrong because of the guy from Monsters Inc.'s name is Sully.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for, actually.
Hell yeah.
All right, all right.
That's
So
not
what's
true.
I'm
Sully?
so sorry. Keep going.
I'll set the scene again. Sully
Yeah.
Southers takes up the rear. What's Sully doing in this moment?
Sully walks in a few seconds after his companions and is sort of looking around the room. He sees this guy with the hurt arm and sizes him up and decides that no action is really necessary with this lowlife. Seems to have trusted Zafira's judgment on banging him up. You see him kind of clock the contact with the golden spurs, and Sully is probably sort of looking around the room for any indication of how he can possibly gain an edge on this situation.
As you walk in and you see this guy nursing his wrist, you see his friend laughing at him and sort of like shoving him a little bit, and he says, "Oh, shut up! I got wrist pain. I got hurt as a kid. It's not funny. Fuck you. It's not funny." And he sits down with a shot of whiskey and shoots it real quick. Sort of makes a face a little bit, and his friends laugh even louder at him. He seems like he's in a bad way.
All right. So Sully, probably 6'2", barrel-chested, 60-something-year-old man with his neatly combed silver hair and thick as the day is long handlebar mustache, with his thin reading spectacles and his charcoal suit with a wide crimson necktie. And he sort of looks at this guy making a big show out of what is at best like a hairline fracture. And I make my way over and I set my light brown leather briefcase down on the table that has the Caduceus like sort of branded onto the like, so like this thing.
Oh wow, that's so handy.
Hey,
For example,
for example, look, I keep reference points on hand.
I keep that thing
We
on.
get it.
on
You have a
arm.
tattoo.
Every time I need to... Anyways, I bust out this suitcase and I open it up and I start sort of this... As I click open this briefcase, this like fold-out ray of shelves kind of like extends out, and this becomes my like brewing station.
Mm-hmm.
And I take his limp wrist and I look at it, and I want to try and get like an actual sense of like how hurt this is.
Go ahead and roll read person for me. Difficulty 8. Not too
Person.
hard.
That is not gonna go well. Okay, yeah, I failed.
Did you roll your d4?
Your D4.
Nothing happened on the D4.
Okay, cool. So you try to get a sense of how much pain this guy is in, and you're kind of like, in this moment in particular, you're not totally able to sense like if he's really hurt, if he's just playing it up. But in any case, when you kind of look at him, and all of his friends sort of like their eyes drawn to you as you walk up to the table, he kind of looks at you and is like, "Hey, are you a doctor?"
Listen, the name's Doc Suthers. I'm sorry about my friend. She gets a little, she can go off the chain.
Hey, she better watch her back.
Well,
I'm a big man around here.
Okay, well, based on the state of this wrist, I'd say you're a little bit less big than you were a couple of minutes ago. Now, I'm happy.
His friends laugh at it, and he kind of like just blush.
Now, boys, it's not the point of this at all. I'm just saying that I would, if you were willing, love to patch you back up to your glory before you got into that scoff.
Well, yeah, and he kind of looks at his friend. He's like, "Yeah, it hurts real bad."
It hurts. And now tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad does it hurt? And that matters how you answer.
He kind of thinks for a second. Like, you can see him like kind of like this guy does not seem super strong in the math department.
Love that.
He says, just maybe a 6 3/4.
A 6 3/4. We're gonna round that up to a
Look,
healthy
Doc,
7.
I just need something to take the edge off.
All right, listen, I'm gonna give you...
She sucker punched me right in the wrist.
Right in the wrist. Listen, I saw it, you saw it, all you boys saw it, but I'm gonna give you something for a 7. Now, a 7 is gonna cost a little bit more than a 6, which costs a little bit more than a 5. But for you, in the condition you're in, let's say $5, and I'll make sure that the pain is totally taken care of.
He kind of looks at his friends, and his friends are looking expectantly at him. One of them hits him in the shoulder, and is like, "Yeah, sounds like you're in a lot of pain here. You've been moaning about this for a good minute now. And go ahead and roll persuade here for me. Difficulty 7.
Fucking 5 minutes into the campaign, this bitch is already grifting.
15 on persuade and a perk.
Jesus.
He says, "You know what? Here, take 7." And he hands you $7. And you what do you give to this guy?
I give this guy it's morphine. I just give him like a lightly diluted dose of morphine.
Excellent.
Gonna help.
He shoots it and shoots whiskey.
Oh.
Yeah, now it does go. Listen, it's gonna help you take those whiskey shots without making such a nasty face too, because this is gonna help everything. If you had back pain, it's gone. Now, listen, I hand him a business card. If you need anything else before I skip town, it's Doc Suthers brand pain relief. You look for the pills, you look for the stash, and I'll get you sorted out. But
Look for the cells, look for the cash.
What's he gonna do? Call you?
He's gonna look for the pills, and he's gonna look for the stash. That's it, boys. All right, don't worry about him. Just make sure he gets into bed tonight. I pick up the briefcase and I go back to join my friends.
Great.
I watched the entire exchange and I'm just pissed.
Running these people.
You make the sale, $7 richer. You head back.
Should I keep track of my money?
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
Running these people out of their money already, Griff. We ain't even been here for a day.
Well, listen, the boy was in pain. I can't stand to see someone ailing like that. You understand?
That motherfucker was fine. I've done much worse to other people.
He's doing better now. He's gonna be asleep for about 3 days with how much I gave him.
You gotta go easy on that stuff, Doc. One of these days you're gonna kill someone, and then we'll have something to answer for.
Yeah,
kill someone unintentionally.
I will say that guy did suck, and he was trying to touch you without permission. So I think he deserves it.
Oh, well. Honestly, he probably deserves worse than the morphine. Morphine's pretty good.
Morphine's pretty great, and it's never been known to hurt anybody bad. So let's all just forget about it and move on.
Great. So as you say that,
deeply
you all have
problematic.
made your way back to the corner booth. You see this figure, black hair, black mustache, purple eyes, looks at the three of you and kind of motions for you to take a seat.
I want to look. Oh, I want to look down at his feet and be like, "Them's real gold."
Yes, ma'am.
So you ain't
Good
never
to
ridden a
see
horse
you.
before.
Just have a seat. Y'all want a drink? Kind of raises his hand and motions to the bartender.
Always.
I
Sure.
take it y'all hear about that job.
Oh boy, I'm gonna get pulled into Southern accent hell. I'm
There's
never
no choice
coming
at this
back
point.
out of
I
this.
gave up on resisting it immediately.
And he kind of reaches out his hand to shake each of yours and says, "Welcome to the White Cliff Saloon. Name's
Clear.
Jesse."
Jesse.
That's a pleasure, Jesse.
Pleasure to meet you. Flick
call
my
me Doc.
duster, tails out, and I sit down.
Oh shit! I meant to have a duster too. Oh well.
We've all got dusters. It's the West.
Wycliffe what? Wycliffe Inn?
Wide Cliff Inn. Wide Cliff Saloon.
Wycliffe.
Wide Cliff Saloon.
Wide cliff.
Like, damn, that's a wide cliff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I spelled it like last name Wycliffe. Okay, my bad.
All right. Yeah, we are here about that job. I'm assuming you are our contact for that.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Name's Jesse Swanson. I'm the proprietor of this here establishment. And I'm in the
And what-
need of some enterprising individuals to track down an old acquaintance. I hear y'all's reputation precedes itself.
We do
Who
our
you-
best.
From. Ooh.
Hmm?
Oh, that is
I
a
said
good
who-
question.
Who do you hear that from?
Ah, thereabouts. Word travels fast in a town like this. Go ahead and roll recall history, Zafira. Difficulty 6. Or no, difficulty 6. Sorry, that's too low. Difficulty 8.
There you go.
Cool. I rolled a 4 minus 2.
Cool. And what's your D4?
Jesus.
I'm a
Okay,
dumb
so-
baby.
So he says, I heard y'all chase down some of them rustlers on the edge of town a few weeks back.
Mm.
Made your way out of town right quick after that. I imagine you made some enemies in that job.
We're
But
off.
I'm
to
here.
you.
I'm here to offer an opportunity for easy money, if you're interested.
Always.
Ain't no such thing as easy money in our line of work.
Right as you say that, the bartender walks up, and Jesse turns to her and says, "Fiona, let's get a round of whiskeys. Anything else Fiona can get you? It's on the house tonight."
Y'all got fried pickles?
He kind of like looks at Fiona, and Fiona's like, "Yeah, we got fried pickles.
Give me some pickles. Thank you.
Over pickles.
Fiona, I'll take a tequila instead of a whiskey, if you don't mind.
Tequila. Okay,
Ooh.
okay. Whiskeys,
Whiskey's
pickles,
good.
and tequila. Yeah. Anyone else? Nothing.
I'm set.
And can I get some French fries? Fiona takes it all down, walks away.
Just get some French
ah.
fries.
You got a Francophile on. All right. I see.
Oh, I'm so glad you noticed. I'm a
Well,
man
the exotic-
of taste.
Yeah, the exotic tastes are always so interesting to me.
I hate this.
Go ahead and roll a charm check for me, bud. Do you have make the sail as a feat, or do you?
Oh yeah, so it's pulled forward.
So it's pull forward, yeah.
God, already? Fuck.
So that's a 13 and a 3.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh yeah.
Jesus.
You see, he immediately is like drawn to you. He kind of laughs a little bit. And he seems like he's trying to share an inside joke with you, and you're kind of like, this guy's an empty sack. He's like not. There's not a whole lot going on up there.
God.
Excellent.
Vincent is just like on the other side of the table, just like hiding his face and rolling his eyes, because Jesus.
So Jesse leans forward. You hear his spurs clank on the hardwood as he puts his feet down, and he takes out a deck of cards.
Mm.
And he starts to shuffle them with a practice hand. It's like, I like to get to know my contacts before I put them out on a job. Don't mind playing a round of cards? Have some conversation.
What game?
Don't mind me at all.
Blackjack's my game.
I'm assuming there'll be some sort of reciprocity between us. We tell you things, you tell us. Likewise, we like to get to know our employers and where their alliances lie.
I'd expect nothing less. Reciprocity is my middle name.
Is it?
And he starts to deal out cards.
Jesse
He deals out
Reciprocity Swanson.
Oh, his last name's Swanson? Shit, I didn't write
his
that.
last name's Swanson. Yeah. He deals out 2 cards to each of you and to himself as well.
Have our drinks come yet?
Yeah, your drinks come right at this moment.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and like make a show of trying to like inconspicuously dump a little clear vial into my tequila, but I do want Jesse to notice.
Okay. Yeah, that's easy enough. Yeah, you're not. There's really not that many other people. You are trying to hide it from your party members, or do you care if they see it?
I'm like
Okay.
I'm trying to make it look like I don't want him to see, but I actually do want him to see.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, no problem. You dump, and he kind of looks out of the side of his eye approvingly. You see his mustache sort of like twitch as a small smile kind of flashes across his face. He makes eye contact with you, and he sort of winks.
I wink back.
All right, so this card game we're playing. Y'all can do that later.
That's oh, okay. I guess that's how that comes across.
Now,
Anyways.
the job itself is it's a related matter. This is a deck of cards I got from a dear friend. Long ago, has a storied past. He deals out the cards, and you all look at your hand and
Ooh.
go ahead and take a moment to find your questions in the Session 0 Bond Building Edition game. We are playing a sort of mini game, a game within a game within a game. It's Session 0 Bond Building Edition by Megan Cross. Involves taking cards from a deck to answer questions about your past and your
Oh boy.
relationships as a party. We're playing that right now, and we have not done this in advance, so it's going to be good. Okay.
It'll be great.
So go ahead and take a second, find your questions, and
Woohoo.
Yeah.
You want
both
us
of
to
them.
do both of them, or do you want us to
just
pick one?
find both of them, pick which
Gotcha,
one you
nice.
think is gonna.
Oh hell.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
All right.
So, Jesse tips his hat back, so it's sort of sitting on the back of his head. You can see that now that the hat is sort of not shadowing his face, he's kind of youngish, maybe early 30s. He has like really beautiful skin, like he's like beautiful complexion. His mustache is well maintained, is clean shaven otherwise. Seems to be cares a lot about his appearance, clearly. And you see also that his ears are sort of like they sort of stick out a little bit, but they're hidden under the hat before. He's got like his ears are sort of prominent underneath, and you see a shock
What?
of peeking out from underneath the cowboy hat, black mustache, but bright red hair. But he kind of like adjusts the cap to kind of hide it, and he kind of.
So I was thinking fairy, but now is he a leprechaun?
he makes eye contact with all of you.
John, I am so sorry. You're frozen on the most
Oh no!
terrible facial expression.
Oh,
Not great.
I was actually just thinking that it's not the worst face I've ever seen someone get frozen on.
Oh, you're back. You're good.
Do you think it's
Sorry,
because I have
everybody.
900 tabs open on our Wi-Fi?
Yeah, please close them.
All
We are doing a thing.
right.
Okay. All right. Well,
And he looks to Sully, and he says, "Sully Southers, hit or stay?"
Go ahead and hit.
Gonna draw another card, and he, as you hit, he says,
Damn it.
"Dr. Sellers, is that right?"
I really prefer Doc.
All right then, Doc. Tell me about yourself.
Well, so for the behind the scenes, my question is: you and another character trained under the same mentor as children. So who was this mentor, and what did they teach you? Well, Tennessee boy myself. What's his name again?
Jesse.
Jesse, I'm a Tennessee boy myself. Went to pharmacy school initially, but eventually got taken under the wing of one Dr. Hasseltoff, and he taught me all that he knew in the ways of tonics and tinctures. So I've studied with him for 7 or 8 years with my childhood friend Robin Ashby, and unfortunately Robin had a different purpose for all of that medicinal knowledge. Robin went off and she started, and Jesse, you won't believe this, but she started using some of that medicinal knowledge for nefarious purposes. Now I stayed on the straight and narrow, and I've been trying to help folks out with everything that old Hasseltoff taught me as best I can since then.
Cool. He kind of nods. Now, as you two are hearing this story, one of you knows Dr. Hasseltoff from another completely different situation. Does anyone want to claim that as their as a connection?
You got an idea, Carol? Okay. Yeah, I think it's interesting because Sully here and I did not know that we knew the same person for quite some time until a couple months into knowing each other. And he mentioned Dr. Hasseltoff, and of course I was surprised. It's a small world. Now, I'm not from Tennessee. I'm a local boy, but I did meet this same Dr. Hasseltoff. He was actually in a sort of medical tent treatment business, following around troops while I was in the service.
Military man.
Yes, Army. He treated me a couple of times, in fact. Got some.
Can you vouch for this this mentor of Doc Sellers here?
Well, sir, he was never short on the painkillers, and for that I was glad.
He says, "Well, and you seem to be you've gotten to this saloon in one piece, and that's something." Anyway,
Short a little thigh meat, but yes.
He kind of like glances down for a second and shakes his head. He kind of places the cards in his hand, and he nice, very nice, everybody. Very, very good. And he says, "Small world indeed. Small world indeed. Zafir Longhorn, hit or stay?"
I'm a hit.
Gonna draw a card.
Hit it.
Interesting. Okay.
And he says, "Now, Zafira, you have been quiet thus far. Tell me about yourself."
Well, you have to understand that my line of work is my life these days. I trust my compatriots more than anyone in my life, and I know that they've always had my back. I can tell you that we get the job done, and we get the job done right. And we risk life and limb to do so. I can tell you that there was one time, and it is the most scared I have ever been in my life. And it was just me and Preacher Man, and we were running from some bandits and chasing some others and on the edge of a cliff. And we were about to fucking go over, you know, like that was it. That was the end. I was saying my goodbyes to the earth. I was saying my goodbyes to the Preacher Man. Those bandits had us cornered. And wouldn't you fucking know it, out of nowhere, motherfucking Sully Southers comes riding down the road on a carriage, saves our asses, ran over the fucking bandits. Have you ever seen a person get run over by a carriage? It's not pretty. And we made it out, but I can tell you that that is the most afraid I have ever been. And those boys, wouldn't you know it, had my back. Now, I'm a small town girl from Kansas, and it is hard to find people who are as ride or die, if you will, as these two. And that's me. I'm a bounty hunter. I'm a farm girl. And these two are, well, Preacher Man's probably my best bud. And Sully, you're somewhere up there, probably, if I'm being honest. My card was you and another character bonded over a shared moment of terror.
Great.
So
he kind of looks at all of you with this new appraisal. Says, "Well, it's good to know that if I end up choosing to hire you for this job, that I'm definitely oscillating between a like Colonel Sanders through to
listen
through to Wyatt Earp and back again.
It's fake West. We're good.
We're good." He says, "It's good to know that the people who I'm interested in doing business with have gotten in and out of a couple scrapes." And he kind of looks at Scully with this new like appreciation, sort of like appraises you for a second at this like this story of bravery.
It's Sully.
I'm sorry, it's Sully. DM crimes. That's another $1. Great. And he takes a second, looks at his cards, says, "Well, I think it's only fair that I tell a story of my own. Now, me and Fiona there," and he kind of points at the bartender, "we go back long ways. And Fiona came into possession of this here card deck that we are currently playing with at this moment." And as he kind of talks about this deck, you all feel the cards almost like spark in your hands, like they send this like tingle through your fingertips. He says,
is it a familiar feeling?
Roll recall occult.
Oh, okay.
Vibe check the cards.
That's difficulty 10.
Difficulty what?
I also
10.
I got an
Yeah,
11.
Nice, you got that. Okay, so Severe succeeded, so you're not gonna get anything else.
Okay.
What'd you roll on your D4, Severe?
Oh shit, I forgot to roll my D4.
How long have we been playing this game?
Good. So you
This is my
do
first
sense
time.
that these
What game is
cards
this?
are these cards have some sort of like extra preternatural essence to them.
I smell it.
It's a similar feeling that you get when you handle your ammunition. And he says, "Now Fiona came into the possession of this here card deck, and I was fortunate enough to cross paths, and this is a long time ago, back before the Wide Cliff Saloon, back before I made my fortune. And without Fiona there, I dare say I would have been at sea. So I know what it is to owe someone your life, and I trust that you all will carry that bond into service for me if you choose to enter into a contract."
Now, do you mean literally at sea or like metaphorically? Because we are pretty landlocked.
I think he means metaphorically.
I'm speaking
there.
figuratively, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Well, I don't see because there was no sea. Continue your
All
story.
right. Well.
You set him up, you also knock him down.
Now, Mr. Sharp, I have to admit, I am quite
so
intrigued. Seems you have quite the checkered past. Being a preacher, you said you were a military man in the army.
Yes.
You, Zafira is describing getting into brushes with the bad side of the law, and I just can't help but be curious. Tell me about yourself.
Can I do the hit thing?
Yeah. And as he asks this question, you kind of stare him down for a second, and you say hit.
Yeah.
And he kind of like starts for a second and hands you a card.
Okay.
Cool.
Let me
Let
see.
me
Let me
get
see.
you
Let
in
me
here.
see. 99999. Ooh. That's not one that I'm gonna do. Oh shit.
You can redraw another card if nothing works for you.
I might redraw. I'm getting lots of hearts.
Mm,
Jesus, another heart.
Shuffle your deck.
John, while Sloan is
did
figuring
shuffle
out their roll or their card, can I roll a notice check just to see like if people are paying attention to us in this bar and like
that's gated by your vigilance. That's not a notice check. But you
constant vigilance.
you do see that no one's really paying you all much mind.
Good, I'll break her arm.
Jesus Christ.
You do see that there seem to be a couple of people who are sitting alone throughout the saloon, who are all sort of dressed similarly, all armed. You get the sense that this saloon has a sort of contracted guard that keeps things from getting out of hand, and so people are sort of just going about their business. They know they can't really get away with much here.
Spicy.
Well, Mr. Swanson, I am it's not a checkered past per se. It's just been through many things. I was a preacher before I was a soldier. And then once I was no longer a soldier, I became a preacher again. And met up with Zafira not long after that at all. And you know, she's a fine example of a bounty hunter and a professional. Fearless. Definitely.
So you might say that Zafir Longhorn here is the tip of the spear, so to speak. Is that an accurate impression?
I'd say so, yeah.
So what role do you take then? What's a preacher man doing hunting bounties?
Well, Mr. Swanson, there are evil forces at play in this world. I am simply here to serve as a hand for those who are not able to intervene directly on this plane.
A high calling indeed.
Yes, indeed. I find myself wanting to be more like Zafira and the good Doc as well. Not very common to find two so willing to put themselves out in the fray.
Well, I think I'll hit myself.
Why would you do that? Oh no.
Yeah, my immediate thought was stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Well,
we are
Blackjack
children.
for 8-year-old.
We are children.
Yeah.
That was a Queen of Diamonds, by the way, everybody.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I think that I'm out. How much is a queen worth?
10.
10? Fuck.
All right. So he kind of turns
22.
to Doc. Great. He turns to Doc Suthers, says, all right, Doc, hit or stay?
Well, wouldn't you have it? I busted on this hit. So I sort of toss my cards into the middle, and I take another little vial out and pour it into my tequila, take another swig. Said, I'll catch up with y'all on the next round.
Zafir, hit or stay?
I'll hit.
Draw a card.
Uh-oh. Okay, no, we're good.
And it gets to his turn. He looks at his hand. He looks at Zafira, lays his cards down on the table, adding up to 24.
Oof.
17.
Nice.
Well, it's not often I get taken in my own house, but you certainly earned a reward. Another
What are you
round?
gonna give me?
Or would y'all want to talk business?
Well, I say let's do another round, but maybe make it more interesting.
Oh,
What do
boy.
y'all have in mind?
Drugs.
Why don't we put a little money on the table for this one? Ante up before we talk business.
I'll
If
buy
you
it.
take us, you're a lot more likely to hire us.
He takes out his wallet, pulls out $10, throws it on
10?
the table.
Fuck.
I throw $7 down on the table.
He says, I'll cover y'all's ante. He pays in $10 for each of you.
Oh, Lord.
This is a show of wealth from this person.
Yeah, clearly.
Ostentatious. He deals out 2 more cards there. So go ahead and whatever cards you had, put them at the bottom of your deck. Deal yourself 2 more cards.
Okay.
Man, if this were poker, I would kill it.
Ah, perfect. Have we seen Doc do this little song and dance before? Not the ante,
That's
but the
my question,
putting vials into his drink.
Like, are you actually doing drugs right now, or are you just making a big show of it?
You guys know, because this is my card game shtick, that I am pouring vials of water into my tequila.
You're such a bitch.
And when I beat my opponent, they inevitably seem to want whatever I'm adding to my drink, and that's when I give them something that makes them worse at the game.
God,
right, yeah,
Smith,
okay.
stop being
Oh.
so
I
good.
definitely didn't pick up on that. But
Damn. Okay.
that is,
Well, I didn't win, so it shouldn't
Yeah.
have worked. But I'm trying the con.
Cool. I like it. Okay, that's good. That's good for me to know for sure. Okay, so he kind of looks at it and he says, "Dog, hit or stay."
I think I'll stay this time, Jesse.
A bold move. Why don't y'all tell me a story? A yarn from out on the trail. I don't leave the city much these days.
Well, is this my thing, or is this to the group?
This is open the floor for anyone who wants to use up a card here.
Well,
I already forgot my questions.
If you're looking for tales from the road, I think that I can oblige. I was just recently the vehicular manslaughterer of the would-be assailants
Oh yeah.
of my new compatriots here, and we'd found ourselves in a new town down a little farther south in Oklahoma. We were trying to find work, much as we are now. We were at a saloon, much as we are now, and unfortunately, there was a fellow who kept giving us the wrong kind of look. You know what I mean when I say that, right?
I think I'm familiar.
A look that I didn't care too much for. I was a little worried about it, but I'm not a man of confrontation myself. So, I went to gather a little information after giving my companions the heads up as to the situation. This fella was big and tall. You could tell that he shopped in the big and tall section of the general store. His clothes were large because his body was large.
I fucking hate you so much.
So what you're saying is this man was large.
Well, listen. You say large, I say big and tall. It's all the same west of the Mississippi, isn't it? Now, I made my way to the bar a couple of seats down from him and started concocting some of my tinctures and tried to eavesdrop on him a little bit. I found out he was indeed planning on an assault of armed robbery against my companions. Well, by the time he got over to them, it was a 1-2 punch. Preacher man with his whip took out his ankles, and the rancher girl with her gun took out his shoulders. And the look on this man's face was so confused. He didn't understand why. He couldn't find his balance or his gun. It's because he'd been loaded up with about 30 milligrams of mercury in his beer at the bar without him noticing whatsoever. And his gun was resting safely in my pocket.
I'll say I do appreciate a man who knows how to keep his discretion.
Jesus Christ.
Christ.
Zafira, hit or stay?
Hey.
A bold move indeed. Mr. Sharp, hit or stay?
I'll hit, I think.
Okay. Go ahead and draw.
God, fuck. Our ace is low or high.
They're low or high depending. They can be a 1 or they can be an 11 depending on what you need them to be.
Yeah, it's up to you. That's how I ended up with a 17. I had
Okay.
2 aces in my hand.
I'll do.
Excuse me.
Let me see.
And it can change depending. Like it doesn't matter.
Let me take a look at what this is. Ooh, this is interesting. Does Zafira want to tell a story before I go?
I can go in whatever order you'd like. It sounds like you've got something going on. If you don't, it's okay. I can.
Go, Carrie, do it.
I'll tell you, Mr. Swanson, we used to be a duo. It used to just be me and Preacher Man. It wasn't until we were out in Nebraska that we picked up Doc over here. Nebraska. That's a state. I say a question mark, but I fully know all 50 states.
It's one of them in the middle.
It's one of them in the middle.
I don't know why you think I don't know, but I'm just telling everyone. I know all the states, and don't you say I don't.
I know all the states. I know them all.
Jeez, I didn't know we were bragging about how many states we knew.
50, 52.
51.
That's a deck of cards. I'm just kidding. I know my states. Anyway.
I'm
Just
well
so everyone
acquainted
knows.
with the territories, but the states are a mystery to me.
Oh my god.
Samoa.
Do your
right?
thing.
Guam?
No, Carrie, go.
What? I know the territories.
Tell your fucking story. God.
Oh my god, this is off the rails. What story was I telling? Oh, when we picked up Sully. We were in Nebraska, which is a state. And we were on the tail of someone who was committing fraud, perhaps. And we ran into Mr. Southers, and it was never our intention to add another group, a member to our group. We were doing pretty well on our own because we both got our things going on. We both got our strong suits. But I will tell you, have you ever seen someone talk someone else out of their own boots on their feet? Because I have, and it was Doc Southers. He could charm a snake out of a pit. I think that's where snakes are. Regardless, he's got some mad skills, and I have seen him turn over an entire case just with his charm and his wit and his medical know-how. And I give you a look like, whatever.
I give you don't lean too much into that.
And I was like, and it
Go easy,
seemed
go
that
easy.
it seemed that we really couldn't continue on as a group without Southers by our side. And little does he know, the person we were pursuing on this case was in fact Southers himself. And he ended up joining us on that mission. So you two would recognize, Preacher Man and I were trying to obtain you. And with all of your skills, you took the preacher's boots and also joined our group.
I'll allow it.
Anyway, so what I'm saying is he can perform incredible feats, and it's just like, how does one man do it? How is one man this? How
I'll
is
tell
one
you,
man this?
I'd like to find out myself.
I do, as the story is going on, sort of lean over and whisper in Vincent Sharp's ears, like, well, the story sounds bad, but your foot pain has gone away since I gave you those boots with more arch support, didn't it?
It has gone away. It's true. It's gone. It's gone.
And
as y'all have this exchange, Jesse looks at his hand. He says, "Well, I think I learned my lesson. I think I'll stay." And he lays down his cards. 16 for Mr. Jesse
Swanson.
I did not forget his name. I remembered it.
Okay. DM crime.
I know all 50 states.
Shut up. Who else stayed?
I think Vincent, you busted, right? So everyone
Actually,
else
no,
stayed.
Vincent did not.
Oh, you didn't? Okay,
No, I'm
never
good.
mind. Oh, well, then he doesn't lay down his cards.
Oh, okay, great.
He says, Mr. Sharp, I think you're the last person here. Hit or stay.
Ooh, I hit and I pulled a card the last time.
Yeah.
So I can go again if you want, but
If you want to stay, you can. This is the next round.
yeah. I will. I'll hit.
You got a story for us, preacher man? I've been blabbing on and on.
I always do.
I know you do.
This time I busted. Oops. Uh-oh. Okay. Well,
All right, with that, yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Swanson, you know, I think that we have talked enough about each other's accomplishments to assure you that we are competent, at the very least, for this job. If I could just supply one more thing, we are... it helps to be with figures who share your, maybe not beliefs, but positions on certain topics. I'm not speaking spiritually, faith-wise, but rather in the more social aspects, socio-political, if you will. Well, it's a miracle that it actually happened this way, but it turns out we all kind of vibe with each other pretty well in terms of our well, maybe not personalities, our value, not our values.
Look, no judgment one way or another. If y'all are involved, I certainly
Oh,
undergone similar arrangements myself.
No, sir. That is not what I was.
We certainly are.
I spent my time in thruples in the past.
I am not.
It rarely ends well, but
it's
certainly fun while you're in it.
I am not intending to intimate that we are romantically involved. That is not the case.
I will say,
don't feel like you need to hold back.
Zafira is like 25. So she is much younger than all of you. Like 25 tops.
Just two like older men and this like this mid-20s girl.
It's a group. It's
anyway, what I was intending to say was we all understand each other pretty well for having known each other for a year or so. So we're a good candidate for whatever job you got on your mind.
Well, good to know that y'all are a tight-knit group. Certainly don't want the mark that I need chased to weasel his way in.
I can assure you that will not happen again.
Well, if that's the case, then he throws his cards down. 16.
I ended up with like a 23 or some shit.
Smith, what did you have?
Hold up my cards.
Oh,
Jesus.
That's a 20?
That's
21.
Oh, because you have a blackjack.
Yeah.
I
I also have 21.
That's 20.
No, it's a blackjack, right?
No,
No,
that's
that's
not how
that's
that works.
Oh,
It's
because
sort of
11 is an
misnomer.
ace. God damn it, I have
Yes.
20 then.
So I believe that $20 on the table goes into my pocket.
Indeed, it
Swanson.
does. And congratulations. Now, sir, I have to ask, what are you drinking?
Oh, this? And I hold up another little vial.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, I just call these my good luck charms. I'm not sure if they've got any real medicinal value, but if you want to play again and level the playing field, then by all means, sir, I'm happy to oblige.
Let's talk business. And then maybe we can venture at another game.
Happy to it.
See, the problem here, he takes your card, starts shuffling the deck again. He shuffles the deck, cuts it, and lays it on the table. And he says, the mark that I need tracked down has made off with a valuable piece of my property. He flips the top card and reveals a joker. This joker has a twin. Used to be part of this deck. He slides the joker off the top of the card deck, and as it catches the light, you can swear that the eyes on the jester follow and make eye contact with you.
No, thank you.
Now, this is a formidable deck of cards, and but without its sibling jokers, its usefulness to me is significantly reduced. Now, this man who slipped this joker into his pocket during a friendly game of Texas Hold'em may not know its value to me, but I can assure you that his life is of no consequence in relation to this object. I need
So you want the card and not the person?
I need you to track down this card. Bring it
Now,
back to me.
I understand he doesn't understand the worth of it, but I would like to. What is the significance of this card?
Go ahead and roll to persuade, please. Difficulty 12.
How charismatic are you?
Ain't my dump stat for the first time ever, but it's definitely not my best one. A 10.
D4?
Killing it. I'm gonna use tenacity to succeed.
Ooh.
Okay. Burn that tasty.
Burning that
he-
tenacity.
He looks at you and says, how about this? Doc Suthers, I would love to level the playing field. He puts the joker into the center of the table and says, ante up that $20 against my joker. Winner takes all.
Well, sir, as much as I'd love to play another game, $20 is not the same as no joker card. We both know that.
In this case, I would say I'm being more than generous.
I'm gonna cut the bullshit here, sir. I can tell that your cards have magic in them. What does the Joker mean to you?
Wait, these cards are magic?
He kind of chuckles to himself and says, no such thing as mundane as magic in these cards.
They are definitely not mundane cards, I can tell you that.
These
Oh no.
cards come back
There you go.
from my parents and my grandparents before them, my great-grandparents before them. He starts to shuffle them, and you can see as he shuffles the cards and fans them out and mixes them in the deck, you can see that as the card faces you and flashes through as he shuffles them, you can see images on these cards, flashes of moving illustrations of different scenes of darkness and fire and just a myriad of quick flashing illustrations. The Joker is the centerpiece. The Joker is what allows me to use the deck for my own ends. Now I trust that y'all have your own tool set. And I prefer to keep mine secret to myself, and there's not much you can do to convince me otherwise. But I am willing to loan this second Joker as an aid to you. The cards are drawn to one another. And if you are as good as you claim to be, I trust that you'll come back with both in tow.
Well, now that I'm assured that we are not just chasing a piece of paper, I'm much more obliged to take this job.
Mr. Swanson, I think I'm happy to put our $20 down against your Joker, and I'm happy to level the playing field as well. Like I said, it's just a little lucky potion. I don't think too much of it. And I want to hand him a little vial and, like, shake it a little bit before dumping it in his drink.
Okay.
Giving it a little stir with my pinky.
Yeah, he swirls it, smells it, and downs the drink.
The fuck
So,
did you put in there?
Mr. Swanson has just taken a potion of Bane, and he is going to...
God, watch him be an eldritch being who can't be baned.
He is going to subtract my brew from his notice checks for the rest of the scene, as with my left hand I go under the table and palm a pair of another Jack and Ace, ready to make a swap on the table.
Okay. So he will roll to notice in this moment. Normally this would be gated by vigilance, but I like that this is a quick motion as he's taking the shot. So he'll roll to notice here.
Did he say the name of the person that we're seeking out? Because I did not write it down.
Not yet.
Okay.
But he will. So that is a 11 on for his notice, but a setback for a complication. What's your brew?
4, so it goes down to a 7.
Yep. He takes the shot and coughs for a moment, and you see a couple of the cards fall out of the deck. One of them falls face up, and you can see that this card has a canyon on it. Red rocks with a fissure between them. And in the distance, in the center of this canyon, you see a flash of red light, and a beam shoots up into the sky, visible through this slot canyon between these two large red rocks. The sky reddens, and the card darkens. And as he finishes coughing, he sees the card is there. He quickly inserts it back into the deck.
Aliens. You heard it first here, people. He's an alien.
Carrie, you can't just reveal the rest of the fucking campaign like that. Come on.
And he deals cards. Go ahead and draw 2, Smith. But you successfully draw. So he deals you 2 cards. You slip them into your pocket. You have 2 cards from his deck now, and replace them with yours.
Snap. He's a lady, but he's dancing like a hoe.
Interesting.
Is he
Okay.
a lady?
No.
So
what I'm gonna do, John, because I know it's gonna be potentially an issue, is I'm gonna do, I don't know if this is actually what this is, but I'm gonna do double up with the cards, where I actually am putting my cards face up on top of his, so it's still the back of his card deck, but the faces of the cards that I am showing him.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. So he has his cards. He looks at you over the table, says, "Hit or stay."
Mr. Swanson, I think I'll stay.
I'll hit. I'll stay. I'm quite confident. Last chance to fold, Doc Suthers. If the pot's too hot and you're not so confident, no harm, no foul.
How you feeling about those 3 cards, Jesse?
Feeling lucky, punk?
Don't
Feeling
say
strong.
that. That's where we're playing a friendly game. This is a friendly game.
I did not say that in game. Oh my god. Saphira's not that bold.
Well,
Yes, she
listen,
is.
Jesse, I feel like you've got a good hand. I think my hand is pretty good as well. I'm going to stay here. I'm not folding.
All right, so be it. 20.
Well, Mr. Swanson, wouldn't you know it, I just happen to have 21 again.
Oh, you're cheating.
Now, that potion didn't help. Now, that potion did help you out a lot, but you notice I had to take 2 doses, so...
I cannot deny that I'm intrigued by your technique. He kind of bitterly puts the cards back in the deck. He holds his hand out for your set. Go ahead and make a cheat/steal roll for me.
Do not
to try to
fuck-
slip the cards back into your sleeve.
Do
and
This
not
is why
fuck this up.
God invented tenacity.
What's the DC?
It's not too bad. He's not. He still has these. Is his vigilance is still down because of your thing. I'm gonna say adjusted. It's an 8.
Okay.
Oh, hi.
Yep. So we're gonna go ahead and burn tenacity until that works.
Great.
D4 is all right.
Hey guys, one of my
your
favorite
finger
parts of the bolt
slips,
system is
but
tenacity.
you manage to swipe the card with your other hand into your pocket and hand him back his 2 cards. Slip them into the deck. No, he is none the wiser, and he slides the Joker across to you, Doc. The Joker, last you saw, was wearing the sort of somber face as it was sort of dancing across. Now it sits on a stool facing out towards you, and you pick up the card and its eyes follow yours.
Well, we'll take this this gift and loan
It's
under
pronounced
consideration. Gift.
Jesus.
All right. Well, somebody's trying to start something about 300 years before anybody really needs to worry about it.
Swanson. Are you raising
Swanson
your
puts
hand,
his hand out
Okay.
and grabs Doc's shoulder and pulls you close, Doc. It says, "Now listen. Be warned. If you make off with this card, you will meet the same fate as the man whom you will chase. You may find pursuers on your tail should you cross me. Be wary. Doc's others."
Mr.
He
Swanson.
releases you.
Mr. Swanson, I'm not the kind to cross a paying client. I would never look. We are now in a business agreement, and the 2 of us, I like to see it as friends. Now, that potion that almost won you that card game, I normally charge $12 a dose for, but for you, in honor of our new arrangement, it was on the house, just as this tequila was on the house from you. I say,
Well,
do
thank
not
you.
worry about the security of your Joker card. It's going to come back to you with its friend right on top of it.
While he's saying that, I want to lean into Vincent and just be like, this motherfucker's gonna get us killed.
I know. But he's got it.
On that
Bernard-
note, can it?
Sorry.
It is time for a
It's
5-minute
8:45.
break.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
Smith's break
It is
time.
8:45, and I timed this out to the T because I really do need to use the bathroom.
I also need to pee.
Very desperate.
Jesus Christ.
All
okay.
right, well, back in 5 minutes, we'll hear the rest of the job, and we'll make our way out of Oklahoma City to our next scene.
All right. Goodbye. There we go. Now we're on the internet.
Yay!
Wait,
We
it
made
doesn't
it back.
Sorry. My shit
I
got-
refreshed.
my shit got all fucked up. I don't know exactly what's happening. I think I gotta boost the Discord server. That's probably what it is.
I just
Anyway.
made all the chat go away, so now I can't see.
Oh no.
Sad.
That's fine.
It's okay.
Let's play a game.
Let's
Let's
play
do
a
it.
game.
All right. So as you finish out this card game, you take the Joker card and slip it into your vest dock underneath your jacket, and Jesse puts the rest of his cards into a beautiful, like, wood paneled case, closes it, and you hear it click shut. And he
Available
puts
on
it
our
to the
Etsy
side.
shop.
Shut up.
Stop it. And he leans forward, says, "The man you're chasing, his name is Bernard Reed.
Barney
Youngish
Reed.
man, shock of white hair,
You said youngish?
youngish, wears an ill-fitting suit. Now, I will say
Any-
that... Sorry. Excuse me.
Any clue to his whereabouts?
Yes. I know that he is headed west and south. Making for the mountains.
Southwest.
Southwest.
Not quite southwest.
It's mostly west. It's just a little south. Southwest would be like a 45 degree.
Last I heard, he was making his way through Santa Fe. But that was about a day ago. So he's likely made his way beyond. If you ride hard, you can likely keep up or make up time on him. I know that he is without a horse, likely making use of the kindness of strangers or caravans, or making his way on foot. Now, normally, I would rely on your skills to track him down, as that is your profession. But if you find yourself in a bind, use that Joker card.
Does he
He'll
have
be
a
drawn
name?
to it, twin. The card? No, it's just the Joker card. It's just,
Do I
that's what
believe
it is.
him?
Yeah.
what an
Magical
arbitrary.
card that moves around. Excuse me for thinking it might have a name. Damn.
He kind of gives you a weird look, and it's like, no.
You know
it's
the
just a
name of the
card.
thing. You have power over it. That's like a mythical
The cards
thing.
are drawn to one another. If you
All right.
if you need assistance, the card may decide to point you in the right direction. However, make your way west.
Now, I imagine we won't run into many youngish people with shocks of white hair, but does he have any distinguishing markings, tattoos of any kind?
Not that I saw. I do not know this man well.
But he's still your prized possession.
You'll know him by the card on his person.
I'm not going to just pat down every person
Now
with
that's
white hair.
the
You're
that's
right,
the best
you're right. This
information
is
I
on
can
me.
offer.
This is on me.
Now
Mm.
I am
just-
only interested in the card. But if you happen to bring him back to Oklahoma City alive, there may be an extra bit of grace coming your way from my pocketbook. I would like to teach this young boy a lesson, if at all possible. But know this, you are not the only people chasing him. This card is quite a valuable possession. And if word gets out that it has left my the safety of my saloon, there may be others who wish to intercept. This does not change the terms of our contract. If Bernard Reed is dispatched and the card is not yet in your possession, you are to pursue the card and bring it back here. Only then will it be safe.
And what amount is on this person's head? What is the bounty exactly?
bring the car back safe, and I will pay $500 for you to split amongst yourselves as you see fair.
Well, that is not insignificant.
Indeed not.
As a bounty. My goodness. Alright. Well, I have heard enough to be satisfied. Zafira?
I think we have enough to go on.
Doc?
Say let's hitch the horses to the carriage and let's start heading west.
Southwest.
I almost expected this motherfucker to go, let's rock and roll!
Now let me see if I can get one more tequila for the road.
Walk me down, if you will.
He flags down Fiona, and she brings you another tequila. And you make your way out of the Wide Cliff Saloon, back onto the streets of Oklahoma City. You see your 3 horses and carriage tied to a I don't know what they're called, a tie out in front of the saloon.
A bike rack. It's a bike rack.
you hang your various implements onto your mounts, and you ride out.
Before we get on the horses, I of course make sure to affectionately pet Junie, my horse, on the nose. I give her a little kiss. I make sure her girth is tightened, but not too tight. I can still slip a couple fingers in there. And then I'm out.
Great. You swing your legs over the top of Junie. Yeah! And you gallop off into the sunset, out of Oklahoma City, into the vast wilderness.
All
and
right.
after some time, you make your way to Santa Fe. You connect with various contacts. This is another big city, places where you know people. You hear word that Bernard Reed headed southwest out of Santa Fe, making for a small town called Gorman's Landing. Is there anything you want to do in the big city before you head out?
Well, I'm always trying to make sure I've got all the ingredients I need for my tinctures and tonics, and I've got $20 burning a hole in my pocket.
Okay, go ahead and roll Navigate Urban for me. Difficulty 6 to find an okay place, difficulty 10 to find a very good place.
Remind me when tenacity resets. Is it
Tenacity
scene
resets
or
when
session?
It's we'll say
There's some scene to
session.
scene,
Let's
isn't it?
No, tenacity resets when you rest overnight. So I'll say that you have all your tenacity because you've been traveling for a couple days now, several days.
So, all right, I'll go ahead. I'll go burn. I rolled a 4, so I'll burn 6 tenacity to find a really good place.
Great. Okay. So
That's
you
like almost all my tenacity.
So you search far and wide for the best location, and you come across a street vendor, a kind of elderly woman, long hair tied back into 2 braids. She's sitting out cross-legged on a cobblestone square. You can see various knickknacks and trinkets and things hanging on a stand behind her, and she catches your eye because you see on the table behind her a case much like yours, and not with a caduceus on the front, but with a pentagram. And you get the sense that this woman is selling just stuff she's found, like random stuff. And she has this case out in her shop.
I walk up to her, recognizing this symbol. Ma'am, I'm a humble doctor looking for supplies to continue creating my medicines for my patients. But I am curious as to what is in that case. It looks so similar to my own.
Oh, hello there, Sonny. Well, and she kind of hobbles over, grabs the case. I'll be quite honest, I can't seem to get it open. It's
Well, why don't
locked.
you
She
let me-
spins it to you, and you see a lock in the shape of a brass ram's head on
Mhm.
one end of the case. And she says, "Listen, I'm not one for making a gamble, but seems like you're quite interested in this case. Make me an offer."
Well, how much can you reasonably expect a man to pay for a case when he doesn't know what's inside? I like the case quite a bit. I'd give you $2 for it, but you know, there's all sorts of mysteries that might be inside. I'll give you another 2 for whatever that may be.
Go ahead and make a persuade check. That's a pretty good offer. We'll say that difficulty 7.
Yeah, I got it. Let me. Oh, I did get a complication.
Okay. Cool. She says, $4 for the case. For the case itself and its contents therein. And I'll throw in this. She grabs something from the side. She holds a rabbit's foot in front of your head. This lucky rabbit's foot for free.
Well, ma'am, I'm not one to turn down a gift from an elder. Certainly, so I'll
Indeed
take
not,
both.
young man. She hands it to you. She seems to deposit it in your hands like it's hot.
I
Oh,
take
boy.
it, and I'd like to recall a cult on this rabbit's foot.
Go for it, bud.
God. Fuck.
That's 10.
Okay,
And another complication.
Good.
Jesus,
Okay, so
dude.
yeah, the difficulty was 9 for that, so you definitely made it. So this, so we'll say you get the case, you get some separation, and you spend some time going over it. This is the foot of a jackalope, and you know this as a notoriously unlucky object that trades hands with people who wish to twist fate to their own ends. And there is a ritual that you must complete to destroy it and rid yourself of its curse. But you do not have one vital ingredient. What is the ingredient, and what ritual must you complete?
Well, look, these jackalope's feet, they can only be done away with taking the pollen of a dandelion and the unfortunate blood of a squirrel, and I am short on dandelion pollen.
Okay, great.
Now, the ritual itself involves nothing more than lighting the campfire and putting all 3 things in. So, I say we go ahead and pick ourselves a couple dandelions on our travels and do away with this curse tonight.
Great. Now, as you are in possession of the jackalope's foot, you cannot roll a perk. Any 4 you roll on the D4 becomes a complication.
Smith, why?
Listen, we're gonna get rid of this tonight. All we need
Great.
is some dandelions. I keep a healthy amount of squirrel blood on hand.
Great. Okay, so you make your way out of Santa Fe back to your
Wait,
party. Oh, I'm sorry, Zafira. Go ahead.
I had some errands. Thank you.
Go for it.
I do need to find a cemetery.
Okay, easy enough.
Cool. I fill up a small pouch with some dirt
Okay.
and I stick it in my backpack. And yeah, that'll do it for right now.
Yeah.
I just need the dirt.
So, grave the dirt of an occupied grave. It counts as a piece of rare material. I'll say, and so that means that if you roll a complication on one of your imbue checks in the future, you can use this material as the ingredient that you're missing, if you desire.
Cool. I also when Doc says he has squirrel's blood, I want to lean into him and be like, "You got the bones too?"
Oh, just a couple. You know, we got in that tangle a couple of weeks ago and we burned up most of the ribs, but we got a femur or 2.
How opposed to your... we won't do this in Santa Fe. There are more lawmen here than I am comfortable with, but I would maybe at some point dim a body.
What?
What?
I didn't hear.
All right,
you.
great. So you make your way out of the city.
I said
Mr.
dig up a
Sharp,
body.
Do you have any errands you want to run in town, or are you ready to go?
No, I do not want for the pleasures of the world. I am simply happy to sit out in the desert. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters, and I will stay out there.
Go ahead and just roll a d4 for me as you're meditating out in the...
Scully and I are finding, Sully and I are finding our components, and...
Woohoo! Oh, John! That's a 1!
Excellent.
Are you there, God? It's me, Vincent.
As you sit meditating, you feel the whip on your side heat up.
Oh.
You grasp it instinctively, and it becomes white hot in your grasp. You feel your skin burn under as it makes contact with the whip, and your hand clutches on, gripping it with the grip of a dying man. As you feel a supernatural force invade your mind, your eyes go black, and you see a horrifying, terrible, awesome in the original sense figure illuminated in the darkness of your vision, a spinning complex of eyes and wings folding and unfolding in front of you. You are struck by fear, and you hear a voice in your head say to you, "Though you walk in the valley of the shadow of death, you shall fear no evil, for I am with you." And you wake up. You have 1 wound from this encounter as you look down your hand, and it is just shredded.
Oh.
You wrap it with gauze and hold it to your stomach and sit and wait for your companions, knowing you have made contact with something otherworldly.
Okay, but A+ voice though.
That was good. Jesus Christ.
What?
Great. So you all reconvene.
I don't want to meet my thing now. That was scary.
On the outskirts.
I'm glad I don't have a thing now.
On the outskirts of town, Scully,
Sully.
I owe you so many dollars.
That's $3.
DM Crimes. I want a t-shirt that says DM Crimes. Great. So you...
Carrie, where are you taking us?
I don't want to miss anything, but I think the dogs have something they're not supposed to have.
Okay, maybe you should turn off your camera so people don't see our house, maybe?
Oh no, they're just playing and being really terrible.
We can't hear them, so...
I mean, the house is pretty clean. They're probably okay.
We just have really, really hairy carpets right now because we have some really hairy boys.
Yeah, great. So you make
dogs.
You reconvene out on the outskirts of the city, and you need to find some dandelions. So
this is the sweetest
dandelions. Grift, seriously? That's what we're doing now?
Listen, look, I got a case. It looks promising, but the lady tried to pull one over on me, and Southern hospitality dictates I can't say no to a gift from someone like that. So
you can. You fully
can.
You should have.
Well, now, look, my wits weren't all about me, but all we got to do is get some dandelions. It's not the hardest thing in the world.
Do you see dandelions out here, mon frere? It is dust. It's dust.
All right, well, listen, look.
Now, I will say that for those of you who haven't been, I should be describing more landscapes, a very pastoral setting. You're near Santa Fe, which is in the southern portion of the American Rockies. So you see, you're surrounded on all sides by beautiful, craggy mountains.
I would like to. Oop, I'm sorry.
And it's not necessarily desert. It is rather arid, but it's not it's not like the Mojave, right?
Oh,
It's,
okay.
There's vegetation. You don't see any dandelions, unfortunately.
Can I navigate wilds and see if I can find some?
Absolutely, you can. You can. People can roll to search, or they can roll to navigate wilds. Vincent, your roll is set back once because you have a wound. And Scully, your roll is, remember, your D4.
So that's a D8.
$4. That's $4, John.
Hell.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
Sully.
sorry. Why do I
Listen,
keep saying
audience.
Scully?
Audience,
So-
the name is Sully. Please don't be confused by the guy who runs the game.
So the unfortunate thing is I did roll a 2 on the dice, but it does go up to an 8. What's the
Okay.
DC?
Sorry, yeah, a difficulty will be 8.
Oh,
Hi.
perfect.
I would like
It's
to
not
introduce
so crazy.
you to my character, Mr. 1, because I got a 1 on both die.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness. So
Your backup
Vincent, as
pinker is
your-
Scully Scuthers.
Scully's colors.
Scully Scuthers.
I won't stand for this.
This is bullying.
Vincent, you walk around and you find a dandelion. It looks like a dandelion to you. You grab it and your hand is covered in spines as
Ow.
you grab onto a cactus.
Fuck. Shit. Start picking the spines out.
Mr. Sharp.
All right,
Mr.
listen.
Mr. Sharp. And I try to like help you. What the hell happened to your other hand? Vincent, we were gone for like an hour.
You know my shit is weird. I don't know.
Vincent, what? Listen, Zafira, you actually might be able to find a dandelion out here.
Like 6.
What? What?
What did you say?
I can't hear you.
What did you say?
Oh, I found like 6 already.
Oh, shit. All right, girl. So.
And then I hand them to you.
All right. Well, I take the dandelions. I'm like, all right, Vincent, let's get you back into the cart and see if we can't patch your hands up. We can't have you walking around like this.
Thorns in one
Oh.
hand and a burn in the other.
Yeah, thumbs are all that separate us from the animals. So we need you up to par.
Huh. All right.
Great. So you make a
Incorrect.
fire and you complete your ritual and dispose of the jackalope foot.
I'd
and you
also,
make- Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I'd like to sort of pull out stuff and got some like isopropyl alcohol, trying to clean out Vincent's hands and
Yeah.
bandage them up.
As you pull the gauze off, you notice that the hand is really messed up, but you do notice a distinctive burn scar forming in the shape of a set of scales. Like,
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and recall a cult on that.
go ahead.
Ooh, can I
This
also?
is pretty high difficulty. No, only Scully can do this. 14.
Silly. That's
The difficulty's
$5.
14.
$5. Yeah, difficulty 14.
Okay, so I got an 11, so I'll burn 3 more tenacity
Great.
and do it.
John, at this rate, you're gonna have to buy Smith like an entire meal from Ergie's next time he's in town.
Yeah, this is the mark of some intelligent entity. You've seen stuff like this before, people who commune with things beyond their understanding. And sometimes people brand themselves with things like this as they try to commune with supernatural intelligent beings as a way of trying to depart their material coil and enter a higher state of consciousness through pain and suffering.
I will say that if they have been traveling together for a year, at least,
Yeah.
at this point, Scully and Zafira would probably both know.
What?
Fucking shit, son of a bitch! Shit!
I take full responsibility. $6
Oh, that's
from
what
the
you
Empire.
guys do it next
You
time.
infected me. Sully Sully and Zafira at this point would know that Reverend Sharp is working with powers that are beyond the mundane because they would have seen him use his whip before, and that he believes that he is on a path laid by God and is essentially wielding the power of an angel whom he was blessed by. So he would know that.
So I'm studying this wound, and I clock all of this. Well, Vincent, this looks like some real Old Testament shit that you got yourself wrapped up in. But I think I can at least clean it out, make sure it's not going to get infected. You're going to have to take it easy on the hands for a couple of days. We'll get them wrapped up tight.
I want to lean over his shoulder and be like, but that's going to be a dope scar, though.
It'll be something.
Sully, I'm gonna mess it up, but I'm gonna correct myself, because if I correct myself, I'll eventually get it. Sully, $7.
We can do like
that's a sub.
like classical conditioning. Every time you say it, we can like.
Yeah.
It's Kingston Kingsley all over again.
Yeah,
God.
exactly.
God.
Exactly.
That was a nightmare.
So, Sully, you understand this scar as a mark of a deepening relationship among the contract between Reverend Sharp and their mysterious benefactor. You're not a religious man yourself, but you've seen some strange stuff, and this kind of definitely falls in that category.
What does Reverend Sharp think about the fact that both Sully and I fuck with the occult? Is that a problem to you?
People have different ways of going about their business.
Cool, great.
Well, I will say, like, my occult's not like a personal belief. It's just like part of my treasure hunt that I was on before you guys picked me up.
Yeah. Sully isn't a practitioner. He's more of an enthusiast.
It was just like all the clues. It was like an occult treasure that I was hunting, so I learned how to like read all this stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I practice.
There you go. I'm on a different stroke.
That was something I meant to say in my character description, is that I do have a really old leather-bound small book in my back pocket at all times.
Great. So you ride out of Santa Fe, southwest toward Gorman's Landing, small town at the foot of some red sandstone hills.
Is this a real place?
No.
Oh, okay.
As we're riding, can I take a look at this briefcase that I got that damn jackalope foot over?
Yeah, absolutely. You take your turn riding in the carriage, and you pull out this case. It's locked, and you don't have a key.
I'd like to fiddle with the lock for a second.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Let me see if I can find a good thing, a good skill. I should have this character sheet open, but I just didn't open it. My bad. Go ahead and roll to jury rig. As you mess with this thing, try to figure out a way of tripping the lock.
So I got a 3, but a perk.
Okay, so the difficulty is going to be 9 for this.
Okay.
So as you fiddle with it, it kind of resists your kind of haphazard strategy. You do notice, as you're messing with it, you hear inside the clinking of vials. It sounds like there's like there. I mean, if you had to place it, it sounds like there are vials of potions in here, similar to what you have.
What is this box made out of?
Looks to be a leather-bound briefcase. Could be wood. Could be some other kind of rigid material, but it's covered in leather.
So you want me to
So,
shoot it open?
Well, hang on now. I think I can. I'd like to reach over. There's a shelf just full of shit for potions on the back of the cart, and I'd take a little like an eyedropper and put it in a bottle, like a large-ish bottle, and put up just like two little drops, and I go over and I just drop them on top of the lock on either side. This sizzling begins as sulfuric acid begins eating through the lock.
Hell yeah. Yeah, the lock eventually corrodes. As it dissolves, it looks as if the ram's head that is this lock almost like eats away, becomes skeletal, and then eventually drops off of the case, and the case pops open. You see that it's lined with six potions, and then on the bottom there are several pieces of paper with diagrams and inscriptions and different interesting looking occult scribblings. Sorry, go ahead.
Go finish. I'm just gonna read all that stuff.
Go ahead and recall occult here.
Can I read occult?
Yeah, you can read it. It's you definitely have a grasp of the language. It's not like a language as it is a set of practices that sort of have patterns across different ways of invoking these kinds of occult powers. You get the sense that this person is kind of trying to combine alchemy and science with invoking some sort of paranormal energy. Summoning, they seem to think that they were trying to summon demons to infuse into these potions to preserve their life and to destroy their enemies. You don't know if it worked necessarily, but that's kind of what you get out of the notes. Go ahead and recall occult to try to figure out what these potions do. Difficulty 10.
Okay, I got a 13.
Great. What do these potions do?
And a perk.
Jesus.
What do these potions do? One of them can be the equivalent of a level 4 feat. You can take some time to look at this as we go through if you want to. But there are 6 total potions.
Okay, so there are 6 potions. Here's the thing: there's no level 4 feats for alchemy.
Yeah, you can look at the book. You can look at other ability trees, or you can make something up.
Okay.
It's just totally up to you, but you can take some time to figure this out. It's
okay.
Kind of.
I'll do that. You guys come back to me in a sec.
Great. So you make your way southwest across the desert, the scrublands. You see mountains in the distance, traveling across these basins between mountain ridges. The desert is green with mesquite and cacti, and you see birds soaring overhead. Big open sky, clouds kind of dotting the blue above you. Every once in a while in the distance, you see a large column of a rainstorm walk its way across the basin. Beautiful open spaces. And eventually, you come up to the crest of a hill, and below you, you see what you imagine is Gorman's Landing. A smallish town, couple dozen buildings of varying sizes at a crossroads, and backed up against these distinctive red sandstone cliffs. Evocative kind of landscape, and similar but not the same as the landmark that you saw on the card that slipped out of your benefactor's deck when you were playing blackjack. It could be coincidence. You don't ascribe any meaning to that necessarily. It's just, it kind of triggers in your mind. It's like this is a thing.
Well, reckon we should head down into town, or should we stay back up here?
I mean, we're looking for somebody. It's not never a bad idea to get in with the locals.
That's true.
Find an inn. I don't much fancy camping. It gets kind of cold at night here in the desert.
I figure we keep a low profile, not say what we are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't agree
And
with you more on that.
I mean, I think we do the normal thing, right? We're just passing through. We're
Right,
on our
right,
way
right.
out west, searching for gold. Sully
Now,
here's my dad. Like, that whole thing that we do where it's like we establish that story.
yeah, maybe no direction though, because if we say a direction, then we gotta follow this guy out in a different way. He'll be suspicious. So
Okay, we're passing through. We're passing through.
we're just passing through. That's it.
Well,
Perfect.
Here, do you want to hear? Can we play the angle here? If we do see the guy in town,
I can shoot.
let's
No, we're not shooting.
no. Yeah, well, if we make the guy in town, let's just play him in a game of cards. See if he pulls out the Joker.
Well,
And then we shoot him.
here's what Mr. Swanson said is that this man was relying on the kindness of strangers, so perhaps we be those kind strangers to this man.
Oh
Ooh,
shit!
Yeah,
Provide
What
him
a smart idea.
provide him
that's
with
our angle.
a ride out of town, and then once we
But-
have him in a situation where he is removed from the helpful hands of strangers,
And then I shoot him.
we'll
Alright.
retrieve the
All
card.
right.
Now we don't have to shoot him, we can just take him in the other
We
direction.
don't. No, listen. There's more money for it in it for us if we don't shoot him.
I
That's
didn't
true.
say kill him. I just said shoot him.
Listen, look these potions.
No,
I've
okay,
been
I
I've been
hear
looking
you.
at them. I think we don't need to shoot him.
No, but if I shoot him with one of the trackers, then we know where he is. So if he escapes, I know where he is.
That is
Forgot you could do that.
That is
So,
yes.
that-
I
Alright.
won't
I'll-
shoot him anywhere important. I'll do like the foot.
Look, we're gonna do
or
a bunch of
the
stuff to this guy.
shoulder.
I feel real bad for him because he's got some shit coming his way, but we got to go find him first. Should we split up or not?
Right.
No, I think we should stay together.
So no splitting up. I think staying together is a good idea. If let's just keep our cards close to our chests, as it were. Maybe not mention where we're headed, not mention what direction or nothing. Just saying we are weary travelers
We're passing through.
staying in the town for a couple of nights. Be a little mysterious. It won't hurt us if we're a little mysterious.
And one
Everybody's-
more thing, as you know, let's not play it like all three of us are here together.
You want us to be
Oh.
separate.
No, well, we can move together, but we don't know each other and we didn't come here together. That's
Could have been like one of y'all picked up another on the way, or y'all picked up me. Like
no. If something happens, well, one of us got to be able to walk away without too much trouble getting drawn to us.
You mean you?
You mean you.
Well, usually I do go off on my own and drum up a little bit of business, but
All right,
that's,
well,
that's not what this
There's
is about.
still a bounty on you, Mr. Southers.
All right, well, if you guys want to try and collect it again, I got no illness against you, but
Doc.
we're past that.
I'm just saying, we did come here. We have 3 horses attached to the same cart.
All right, it doesn't look good. Listen, you caught me in a loophole. Let's
Would-
just get into town.
Do you want to detach your horse and go separately? Because that is fine.
How to ride a horse at this point? I know we were trying to teach you a while back, and it was not going well.
Well, listen, old Silver up there is a little jumpy, but I think I got enough to come around the back of town.
Great. Go ahead and you detach the horse, get up on Silver. Go ahead and roll to ride for me there.
I pat
Difficulty
Silver as he
6.
goes away.
Or,
Roll to ride. What
yeah,
is?
roll to
it's
ride.
pilot.
7.
Piloting is now riding. Difficulty
Yeah.
7.
7.
Oh, 9 on the die.
Nice.
There you go, buddy.
And a perk.
Hey,
Yeah.
you have been picking up on stuff. As you ride into town, you skirt around the side, and your perk is that you ride up on the party that is gathered on the edge of town unnoticed.
As he rides away,
You're-
it's really important to me that I lean into Vincent and say, I taught him everything he knows.
You got a nice posture. You did a good
You did.
job.
You did.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Straight back and everything. All right, so I'm gonna come up on this party, and I'm just gonna kind of lay low and be inconspicuous while I wait for my friends to kind of get their business done around town and see what I can learn about what I've
Great.
come across.
Okay. So, what's your vigilance score?
6.
So you don't hear much. from your position. You might be able to sneak closer if you want to. That'd be risky. You do see that there is a small, looks like a family graveyard out here, and a black coffin. And there's about 5 people out here, and they're lowering the coffin into the ground.
Oh, so this was a party. It was a funeral.
That could be a party.
A party means a group of people. That's what I meant by that.
Christ.
Sorry.
Did you really think that?
Shit, I thought I was showing up on prom night.
I totally,
Yes,
totally
I did.
neglected that. Yeah, sorry about that.
I thought it was high school graduation. It's a fucking funeral.
No. It's that.
But it's all these people Molly.
It doesn't look like a funeral. It looks like no one's crying. No one is bowing their head in prayer. It looks like a bunch of these people are having a conversation while 2 others lower the coffin to the ground. There doesn't seem to be like you definitely catch the vibe that these people are not mourning anyone. They're just doing a job, and they're in a sort of a heated conversation with each other, talking about something. And you can catch that one of them is wearing a like wide-brimmed beige hat, and they have a star pinned to their chest. It kind of catches the sunlight.
Lawman.
Okay.
The other ones, you can't really tell what's going on there.
So I'm gonna try and just remain like kind of, whatever you do to stay inconspicuous on the horse. But I do want to, I guess I want to recall occult to see if this is some sort of ritual thing. Before
I can already tell you that it's not.
Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of hang out here for the moment, and keep an eye on them and let my party kind of make their way into town and find what they find.
Great, you're gonna hang out here. Yeah, you watch them. All right, so Vincent and Zafira, what are you doing?
So I think we're riding into town,
Yeah.
kind of talking over our plan.
We should find a place to stash the horses and then just find
Well,
a
I think
place
we'll
to-
take them to the stables. Usually towns like this have a place where you can kind of stable up.
Right. That's
Yeah,
what I meant.
yeah.
And then after that we should, I'm guessing that the doc will probably head to the nearest bar or other
Yeah.
area to find an alcoholic beverage and
A mark.
right. Yeah.
We should find a place to stay.
Right.
And maybe ask some questions.
Sounds good enough to me.
I think it's not a bad idea to do that thing where we're like, oh, like, what a cute town. It's so small. Do you guys see new people often? Kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
You want to be like wealthy or
oh, I suppose we could be. It's been a while since we've done one of those.
we'd we're looking a little dusty, so maybe just like
Maybe just like, Reverend, are you allowed to get married?
I believe I can. Yes, I'm allowed to get married. It is a
I'd be like, this is my husband, and they're like, that's a preacher. He ain't allowed to do that.
I may enter the covenant of marriage. Yes. That is allowed.
Like, you could be my brother or my uncle, or we're just friends. But I think it might send, I don't know.
Why don't we just we can do like uncle.
Secret lovers. I'm just kidding. We can do uncle.
Not both though. We can't do both of those. I don't want to. We can't
Pick
do
one or the other.
We've
Pick
been
one or
to
the
those
other.
towns.
One-
We've been to those towns.
one or the other. I think
Let's
that
do uncle.
let's do
uncle.
uncle is good. Yes, I am your chaperone. Yes. All right.
All right.
Wonderful.
Great.
Let's go put the horses up and we go to the stables.
We put Junie in the stall, and what's your horse's name?
Slick.
Hell yes! Oh, okay, I'm
Good
writing that
name.
down.
That's
Don't let me
good.
forget.
I panicked and I almost said clop clop, so that's much better.
Juicy, Slick, and Silver. I love those names. Good horse names. Okay, so you, very good. You ride into town. Zafira, you with your vigilance score notice a couple things in town. First, there are a couple people out on the street that it's not bustling by any means, but it's not deserted, which is a good sign. You do clock the stables, and you clock a saloon that seems to have lodging above it. It's the biggest building in town, 3 stories, big front porch. You can hear, even from where you are with your vigilance score, voices kind of spilling out into the street. There are a bunch of other buildings here, some lodgings, and then from the hill that you rode in on, you can see that there are a couple of small plots of land, ranches, some modest farms, that kind of thing.
It's like they're using the new irrigation system. We've been trying to get that on our ranch for years. I'll tell you, it is expensive, though. Continue.
Great. So you clock the stables, you go in there. As you are riding into town, you do see a couple people catch your eye. They look at you with this nervous energy, not hostile, not too far out of the ordinary, but you definitely clock people as like they something happened here that is causing them to not welcome you with open arms necessarily. In fact, one man, as you're riding by, kind of instinctively puts his hand on his revolver at his hip.
I find myself reaching for mine too, and then I calm down because I'm like, I'm not trying to make waves here.
Yeah. No one like makes an open show of aggression, but you get the sense that people are distrustful of outsiders.
Mm-hmm. I'm relaying this quietly to the Reverend as we walk.
Great. You walk your horses to the stables, and you see a young girl with short cropped hair sweeping out in front of the stables, and she leans on her broom as you walk up. Says, "You looking to board horses here?"
Sure are.
All right, two horses in a carriage, 5 cents per.
I hand it over.
All right, thank you kindly.
Thank you.
We find ourselves traveling quite often, so we have a lot of our goods on that carriage. I do hope you will take care to ensure they are protected duly.
Oh, don't worry, we lock up at night. No worries. And it's a small town. People don't make too much trouble.
All right.
But that said, if you have any valuables, I would definitely take them with you to wherever you're staying. Just being safe.
Right. I'll pick up anything that the doc left. I know he uses most of the storage space back there. So.
Yeah, you grab the necessities. You get the sense that like a lot of the stuff the doc uses isn't obviously very valuable. It's more like knickknacks and odds and ends. Right. But you grab the things that he would miss, and you make your way back out to the street. So you immediately know where the saloon is. It looks like there's lodging there. You could also navigate and try to figure out what else is here if you wanted to, but that's the biggest landmark in the town. It's right at the center of the town at the crossroads.
I do think in our experience we get more people to talk to us when they've gotten some social lubrication, if you catch my meaning.
Imbibed.
And
I'm very tired. We've been on the road a couple days, so why don't we just have
How's your hand doing also?
It's all right. It's
Yeah, by now it's healed over for the most part. You heal pretty fast,
right.
Especially lately. And it seems like it's scarred over, still red, but it's not painful.
It's all right. The Lord works in mysterious ways.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
You make your way into the saloon. You see that it's pretty empty. It's still kind of early afternoon here. There are a couple people hunched over drinks. You can see there's a small stage that's empty in the far corner. There's a long bar with a mirror on the wall behind it, and a shelf full of glasses and shot glasses, steins, all sorts of different kinds of glassware. It's not an amazingly nice place, but it's well kept. It's clean. There's no like broken furniture or anything really all that rickety or uncouth, but it's definitely been here a while and it's well used. You see at the bar a kind of short gentleman, bald on top with brown hair on the sides, kind of long, pulled back into a ponytail, but it's bald on top, so it's kind of like not that good of a look. It looks like he was maybe handsome in his younger days, but now has sort of lost his luster a little bit. He's wiping down the bar. And as this is happening, Sully, you do see the 5 people who you have been watching on the outskirts of town start making their way towards the center of Gorman's Landing.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'll as they begin to leave, I'm gonna continue, looking through the weeds and stuff, and then you pick a random like blade of grass and stow it as if I've found what I was looking for, and then I'll keep a healthy 100 paces behind them and follow them up.
Yeah, go ahead and roll to sneak. There's nothing bad's gonna happen here if you fail, but it's just to see if they catch you following them. Okay. Difficulty 6. Pretty.
Okay, I got a 10.
Okay, great. So yeah, you managed to avoid their attention, and you follow them back in town. You see that they are entering the saloon at the center of town. As you all enter and you find yourself standing in the middle of this place, you hear behind you some raised voices as people walk in. This group of 5, one woman at the head of the group. You catch the glint of silver off of her lapel as the star of a marshal catches your eye. She's wearing a beige hat,
Does
spurs
she look
and
like
boots.
Officer Nicole Hott?
Sure, yeah. She has a shock of red hair pulled back behind. She is tall, well armed with a revolver at her hip and a dagger on her boot, and she is kind of heatedly talking to the group of 4 people behind her. And as she enters, she looks around and quickly quiets herself, catches y'all's eyes, and walks up to the 2 of you, puts her hands on her hips, says, "Well, welcome to Gorman's Gap. I hear
How's
I'm
Gorman's
the
Landing?
deputy. Sorry, Gorman's Landing. My bad. Gorman's
Where
Landing.
are we?
Gap is somewhere else.
$8
Gorman's
in the
Landing.
DM
DM
sin
crimes.
jar.
$8. Messing up names. That's why they pay me the big bucks to get these names right. So they she puts her hands on her.
At this
her
point,
hip,
you're
sort of
paying us.
loops her fingers into her belt, and says, "Welcome to Gorman's Landing. I'm the deputy here.
Mm-hmm.
Name's Sam Wilson, and I welcome you kindly. Ask for your names. We've been having some trouble around these parts. Want to make sure that y'all are on the right side of the law."
It is very nice to meet you, ma'am. My name is Reverend Sharp, Reverend Vincent Sharp.
A reverend.
We're doing real names.
A reverend. Well, welcome, Reverend Sharp. We're always happy to have the word of God being spoken proudly in our town.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are?
My name is Zafira Longhorn. I herd cattle.
Jesus Christ.
Well, it's good to make your acquaintance, Miss Longhorn. I see you're carrying quite the piece there. I ask you kindly to keep it holstered. Inside the city limits, we are recovering from a bit of a loss. So you'll have to accept my apology on behalf of the townsfolk.
You'll have to apologize.
Accept my apology on behalf of the townsfolk for our subdued mood in these times.
Who did you lose?
We recently lost our sheriff. I recently took up
I'm sorry.
his position, but you'll find no hint of novice disposition on my part. I'm quite experienced, and you'll get no quarter from me if you make trouble.
Believe it. You already seem 10 times more competent than the sheriff in Cavalry Creek, I'll tell you what.
Well, this is the Narrow Cliff Saloon. You're welcome to inquire about room and board. Wet your whistle. Let me know if you have any questions. I have my own business to attend to if you don't mind.
Can I ask you one more quick thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Do y'all see a lot of visitors here? Like, a lot of people passing through on their way?
Every now and again. Not too common, but not too rare. We're Crossroads town. People stop in,
And
especially people who are. Sorry.
Just terribly sorry to weigh you again, but you said you had some trouble. What kind of trouble you talking? It's good to be prepared for any issues that may arise.
Good call, Vincent.
Well, y'all seem like a trustworthy sort. I don't see any reason to deceive a preacher. Keep my slate clean for when the time comes.
And it
Our
always
sheriff,
does come.
our sheriff was died under mysterious circumstances. I'll say.
Oh,
We
that is
are
interesting.
executing an investigation into the matter. I don't think there's any cause to be concerned. Seems like it's a one-off situation. The person who committed the crime may be well on their way out of town already, but
It
we
was
certainly
at the
have been-
hands of a citizen?
Well, we can only imagine that's the case. Certainly ain't no coyote that I've ever seen.
Like bigger?
But
Like more?
there.
Hmm?
But if you don't mind, I have some business to attend to. If you have further questions,
Of course.
feel free to flag me down. But just don't wait too long till we get into the night. If you know what I mean. And she turns around, spurs clicking on the floor of the tavern as
And
she
they're
joins
not
her.
gold because she rides real horses.
They are
Because
not.
she looks like Nicole Hot and Zafira is in love.
She
Stop simping. God.
I can't. I won't. Have you seen Officer Nicole Hot? I won't.
Sam Wilson, the former deputy sheriff of this of Gorman's Landing, spins on her heel and steps over to a table where she sits down with her 4 companions, and they begin a hushed but heated conversation.
Bet you're glad we're not pretend to be married now, ma'am.
Oh, I mean, I ain't opposed to a throuple. Anyway,
Oh, my lord.
I
Zeph.
think
Right as this happens, Sully, you follow them into the saloon. You can enter if you want to, or you can hang outside.
I pull Silver up to the stables and clock my wagon and toss a nickel to the stable keeper. Say, put him up next to that fine looking carriage, and then I make my way in. I clock my companions at a table, and I kind of clock the party that I've been tailing at their own table in their conversation. I go and make my way over to the bar and order a tequila.
The short man, balding on top with a black ponytail pulled behind his head, walks up to you and says, Well, hey, welcome to this fine establishment. This is the Narrow Cliff Saloon. What can I? You said tequila?
Tequila, mezcal, if you've got it.
Mezcal.
Certainly don't, but we got something. I'll go get it. And he kind of reaches back, pushes a couple whiskey bottles out of the way, grabs a dusty bottle of tequila. You can see the insect that helps with the fermentation process. Hey, I don't actually know what the terms of these things are, but in the bottom, he kind of gives it a swirl and pours out the
Or sometimes
tequila.
it's a dead baby snake, right?
I don't know.
It's like a scorpion.
Something.
Whatever.
No, it's not a
This is
scorpion.
the alternate reality West where it's a stick
This
bug.
is not the American West, okay? So just get that out of your head
it's
right
a
now.
really small chimera.
Anyway, so it's a cow fetus, and
Jesus
just kidding.
Christ.
So
Weirdly, it's a shark. It's a baby shark. That's
Actually, it's Sphinx, and you have to answer questions before you can drink it. It's bonkers.
pours you your tequila, slides the glass across the table. Says, you want to open a tab?
Yeah, feeling like I might just about do that. Now, here, I'll slide $1 over the counter. I'm like, that should hold my my tab open for a little while.
Yes, sir.
What's your name there, friend? Been on a long travel. I'm looking to make some new acquaintances.
Oh, my name's Carl Pope. Carl Pope.
Well, Doc Southern.
You
it's
new
nice to
to
meet you.
Gorman's Landing? You never passed through here before?
No, I can't say I have, but you know, I'm a traveling medicine man, so I'm always looking for new patients and new places. The turnaround's high
medicine
because,
man.
yeah, well, you know, you go into a town, you fix everybody up, all of a sudden the money's all dry, so you got to move on to the next town. If you know what I'm
Wow.
saying.
Sounds like you're quite the accomplished businessman. Well,
Well,
he kind of
businessman
rubs-
is not really the name of the game all about.
Joe has left the building.
Guess we'll pause for a second on that.
We'll pause for a sec. Make sure there aren't any technical problems here. Carl Pope sort of rubs his bald head as you're talking to him and says, well, if there's anything I can help you with, just let me know. And he leaves you to your drink. And we'll pause for a moment. Welcome, Art Pleb. I can't hear you.
I was muted.
Gotcha.
I was
Great.
literally talking into the microphone, like hoping that people on the stream would hear me, and just nothing happened. It's fine. We gotta boost this fucking Discord server. We're good. Rip.
This is why y'all should tune into episode 2
Fuck.
of Redline Gap.
This is technically episode 0.
Episode 1 coming at you
Episode
with
1 next time.
technical
Jesus.
improvements.
Speaking of which, how much time we got, John?
About half hour ish, maybe less. Is that good?
Keep going.
So anyway, you finish your conversation with Carl Pope, the bartender, and you all can see that your companions have joined. You've all gotten to the same place. Sully Southers has sidled up to the bar, sipping his tequila.
Well, Mr. Southers, did you find anything interesting on your way into town?
Well, I've got to say that the looks to be the sheriff and her 4 friends over there are fresh off of a pretty griefless service. Looked like they were burying a coffin, but didn't seem too sad about it.
It was the sheriff.
Oh, the old sheriff. All right, well, that makes sense. It's hard to be sad at your own promotion ceremony, I suppose.
Right, I suppose that is the case.
Oh goodness, I'm sorry.
Right as you are having this conversation, the door to the saloon slams open, and a very, very rotund person kind of rushes into the room, taking up a ton of space, and he barks out over this hushed murmuring of conversation. Deputy Sheriff, I have a bone to pick with you.
Oh, boy.
And Sam Wilson, the sheriff, stands up and says, Eddie, I do not have time to solve your problems for you. What's going on? And Eddie kind of strides up, says, Deputy Sheriff, this is the second week now when I have found dead pigs from my livestock on my property. Someone's coming in and he's poaching my livestock. Now, if you can't deal with it, starts getting like really worked up. This guy is working himself into a frothing rage. And Sam sort of like grabs his shoulder and says, Eddie, I promise I will look into it. Now, if you didn't notice, I have some new jewelry here, and I got bigger fish to fry than your damn pigs. Now, go back to your farm. I'll be around in the morning. Take a look, okay? Eddie sort of steps back and is like, Well, when tax day rolls around, we'll see if you deserve to get your salary that year from me. And he spins on his heel and walks out of the tavern. Sam sort of sighs, returns back to the table.
Seems like all is not well in this here town.
Ooh. Maybe we go and...
Can I order a drink
up.
from the bar?
Yeah, absolutely. Carl Pope walks up to you, takes your order.
I'll order whiskey. That seems appropriate. And I want to say like, well, I'm sure you know I'm new around these parts because it's a pretty small town and that's how small towns go. What the fuck is that guy's deal? He seemed upset.
Oh, Eddie. Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, Eddie, he's quite a character. You know, he's a big man around to these parts. Got a plot of land outside city limits. Pig farm. Does cattle, but most of the pigs. And
Pigs,
you know, lately
yeah.
he's been raising alarm about some pigs going
Do you know how they're dying?
Honestly, not too interested in myself.
Fair
Eddie
enough,
tends to
yeah.
make big issue out of nothing. But
It just seems like there's a lot of conflict in this small town. It's something I haven't encountered in my travels, and so I'm just curious about it. You know, like your sheriff died. That's huge, right?
I'll tell you what, it was quite the event.
Really?
Most small towns, you know, they got their share of drama, but it's
Mhm.
not
Oh, I
nothing like
know.
this happened since I've been around. Tell you what,
Do you know what happened to him?
I don't. But you know what? He leans forward, says, "I heard that they filled his coffin with sand,
Whoa.
and his body's over at doctor's place, getting an autopsy. Died under mysterious circumstances.
Wow.
Those who know, they know. That's just rumor, though. You know, probably nothing to it.
Well, doctor in town. I haven't seen any
Hey.
other outlets for work. Maybe I go see if I can lend a hand of assistance to the town medicine man.
Ah, you know what? Yeah, Doc's always looking for help. You know, he's kind of I maybe say in over his head sometimes. He's quite a young buck, good heart, but
Well,
you know how it is.
Maybe I'll take this to go. You don't mind if I keep the glass, do you? I'm sure that dollar.
No, as
should
long as your
cover it.
tab's open, sir, you can do whatever you like.
All right. Well, I'll head down and see if I can't suss out what happened to that old sheriff there. And, you know, it was nice to meet you two. Hope that you all have a pleasant evening. I raise my drink at my companions, and I think I'm going to head down to find some clues.
Okay, go ahead and roll navigate urban to try to figure out where the doctor's office is in this town you don't know without any help. That difficulty is going to be a 10.
All right. Well, damn. Can I ask someone for directions?
Sure. Are you asking for directions?
I'll walk out to the stable keeper You're like, all right. Look, I'm looking for the doctor's office. You point me in the right direction.
Oh yeah, sure. Head down, all the way down to the cliffs, and there's a little house right off the main road. You just go straight down on your left, can't miss it.
You're
All
looking
right.
for a little house on the prairie.
Fucking Christ. I was gonna make that joke and then
All
I
right,
didn't.
I'm gonna go ahead and look for that last house on the left there.
Great. Okay.
All right.
Great. As you leave to go talk to the doctor, you all see Carl kind of quickly wipes down the counter, acknowledges the two of you, and then walks over to the sheriff's table and opens up a conversation with the sheriff and her companions. What do you all, Vincent and Zafir, anything you want to do before we touch base with Sully on his investigation?
I'm assuming with my vigilance score the way it is, you would have straight up told me if our person was in the bar. So like,
No, yeah, they're not.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty empty. You know, they could be upstairs. That they might. This seems like it's the biggest place to like get room and board.
I do want to ask Carl if he's had any new folks come into town.
Okay.
I tell him like, you know, my uncle and I are traveling, and I know that we're like a day or two behind my brother. We're meeting him at our final destination. I'm just wondering if perhaps we stopped in the same place because like he and I are on the same wavelength. You know what I mean? So just trying to see like maybe he stopped here.
Great.
I describe him.
As you walk up to Carl, you hear him saying, "Hey, you know, like there's a doctor came into town. I was just talking to him. He says he's gonna go give Doc down at the cliff some assistance with that job. You know, that I heard about." The sheriff immediately perks up and is like, "Shit!" And she stands up and rushes out. And Carl turns to you and you relay this information. He's like, no, haven't seen anyone like that around here. No, doesn't sound familiar."
That's all right. Well, I mean, if we don't find him on the road, obviously we will find him when we reach our final destination. You know what I mean? It would have been nice to see him on the road. He's riding ahead on his own horse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no one, the horse around these parts except y'all. That's how I've seen. Well, anyway, I gotta go clean. Steps back. Sully, as you walk down the road, about 50 paces back, you hear a voice shout out over the street.
I don't want to shoot Hot Cop.
"Hey, stranger!"
I'll look over slowly.
You see a red-haired woman with a star on her lapel standing at the crossroads. She waves you down and says, "I don't know if we've been properly introduced. Why don't you come down here, have a conversation?"
Well, anything for an officer of the law. I'll make my way down to you.
You approach her. She seems visibly like perturbed.
Mm-hmm.
She says, "I heard from Mr. Pope that you were interested in touching base with our doctor. And mind me asking if what your reasons are for that?"
Well, reasons are simple. What isn't it? Isn't it always money? I'm here looking for work. Sounds like your doctor needs help. Looking through maybe an autopsy, I thought I'd lend my assistance, and best case scenario, maybe he knows some sick folk in town who need some of my tonics and tinctures.
Well, I can say assuredly that our doctor's more than capable of fulfilling his obligations. If you're interested in setting up shop in our town, I suggest you find a place not already occupied by someone doing business. If you don't mind me saying so.
Well, I'll take that as a strong piece of advice, ma'am, but it is common practice for those of the same profession to offer each other a drink when they're in the same place and talk a little shop. So if it's all the same to you, I'll leave him to his work, but I'd still like to be going and making my acquaintance.
How about this? You take up spot over in our fine saloon. I'll head down there, let him know that you're looking for.
I would like to recall disease and see if there is any symptom I can spot on her to diagnose right now with any...
Oh my god.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and roll. Difficulty's going to be 10 for this one.
Okay.
This does not guarantee success, right? This is just to spot something and to try to figure out if there's a way for you to get under her skin.
It's an 11 and a perk.
Okay.
Oh my god.
You do notice a rash on her neck that she keeps kind of fiddling with. Could be like probably just like a skin irritation.
She just plays the
Normal kind of
violin.
All right, well, Sheriff, I'll take up my spot and I'll let you go talk with the doctor, but on your way down there, I can't help but notice that rash does seem to be bothering you a little bit, and if you want a little something to rub on it and cure yourself up, well, I've got just the thing right here that'll take that rash and completely heal it.
Okay, so go ahead and roll to persuade, pulled forward, because of your perk.
It's topical methamphetamines.
Difficulty for this one's a little higher. It's 11.
Okay, well, I rolled a 12 on the D12.
Jesus.
Nice. She sort of
That's
softens.
another perk, too!
Oh my god, dude.
I hate you so much.
She sort of softens at this and takes the salve from you and says, "Now, my apologies. I don't mean to come off as hostile. We're sort of dealing with a small crisis here right now. The doc is currently busy helping us out, but I'll be certain to head down there. I have an appointment with him myself, and he will. I'll be sure to have him come find you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. sharp. That's my word as your sheriff while you're in my town."
Well, Sheriff, I'm only trying to do my best to help. I understand what your town is going through, so please don't take any of my actions as ill will, obviously. I'm just a man of the people, so I'll do as you asked and set up my shop down there, and I'll look forward to meeting with your doctor tomorrow at 9. That sounds fantastic.
Great. So you head back to the tavern. The night wears on. The tavern fills with people. You make arrangements for accommodations. Vincent, what are you gonna do?
I searched this town for a church.
Okay, go ahead and roll navigate urban, difficulty 8.
Navigate urban. Okay. No bonuses to this.
Take him to Snurch. Snail Church.
Stupid.
It gets stuck in my head.
I will burn 2 tenacity to succeed.
Great.
And I got a 2 on the
You
D4. So.
do find an abandoned church here. It's dilapidated. The wood has a sort of gray pallor, splintered. The door is closed and in good shape, though, and none of the windows are smashed in. Actually, I misspoke. Let me set the scene again. I forgot a detail here. The
It's
church
also on fire.
is abandoned. The roof is in good shape. The doors are closed. But the thing that I said, which is the opposite of what's true, every single window is smashed in. You can see glass littering the ground around the church. The church is sort of at the edge of town. You didn't really see it when you first came in here, and the steeple is quite low. It's not really like a prominent fixture.
So smashed out. So like it came from inside, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You enter the church. Are you being stealthy, or are you just kind of walking up investigating?
I think I'm just kind of walking up and investigating.
Okay. You push the door open. It creaks on its hinges. You enter a the inside. At one time, there was a modest but beautiful chandelier of lanterns hanging above the center of the room. Every piece of reflective glass has been smashed on this ornamental piece. Every window has been smashed out, and you can see that the tabernacle, which is normally plated in gold or brass or something similar, has been sullied, destroyed, dented, and otherwise marred. Its once shiny sheen has been tarnished. This place has been ransacked. The pews are in disarray. Books are torn apart. You can see that there looks like there's a bent candle snuffer that looks as it's been used to smash windows in. It's also itself covered in dirt and grease and mud, everything just covering its shiny reflective brass surface. This place is in disarray, and as you walk in, you see up at the top of the altar, right in front of the table that sits at the head of the church, a figure kneeling, shock of white hair, wearing a suit too big for his frame, spins around and looks at you. You see a Joker card on his forehead. You see him start and turn and run out the window. You see him jump through and you see his hands get cut viciously on the windowsill and sprints off towards the edge of town. In a moment, it's gone from your view, and you can see blood sort of dripping down the glass shards of window that are left in the frame. And that is where we will end our session.
Oh, dude!
John?
Fuck.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, what is going on here?
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Yay!
I don't.
Yay!
Okay, alright. Okay, wow. Holy fuck. Okay.
Catch us back soon for episode 1 of the story of Redline Gap.
Yes, indeed. Okay, alright. Cool. So, follow at Bolt RPG on Twitter. Give a J all of his flowers. He deserves them. Fucking follow me on Twitter if you don't already, because that is where I will announce when we are doing the follow-up for this. We're gonna try and make this more consistent, but it's the holiday season, so we'll see what happens.
So whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate y'all very, very dearly, and we will see you the next time we see you. Which is
hopefully next Saturday.
Hopefully next Saturday. We'll see. All right. Love you. Bye.